Shalom, family and friends, brothers and sisters. This is another awesome lesson on tonight concerning Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please be sure to share the video as well. I'm your host, Shabar Judah Israel. That's going to be bringing forth this lesson on tonight. You can take notes if you will. You will need a King James Bible, and there's a possibility you might need the Apocrypha too. I don't know. But guys, please share this one with family and friends. The topic of discussion is I'm going to be explaining Matthew 15 chapter 21st verse concerning the Syro-Phoenician woman's daughter that was healed by the Messiah. I'm going to be explaining that. Matthew 15:21 in the New Testament. All right. Matthew 15:21. So guys, grab your Bible if you will. I'm going into it. And let's get started. So Matthew 15:21. So this is Matthew the 15th chapter. And I'm beginning with the 21st verse. All right. Now, Matthew 15:21, it says, Then Yahushua, who they ignorantly call Jesus today, went thence and departed into the coasts of Tyre and Sidon. Now, this is all on the behalf of the Messiah healing this Syro-Phoenician woman's daughter. Okay, a lot of you brothers and sisters, all right, you may be perplexed, you may be at the crossroad, because a lot of individuals, they don't get it. They say, why did the Messiah heal a heathen's daughter if he was sent to the Israelites and only for the Israelites? Why would the Messiah heal this heathen's daughter? Well, that's what I'm about to be clearing up on tonight. So listen. Matthew 5:21. Then Yahushua, who they call Jesus, went thence and departed into the coasts of Tyre and Sidon. So keep in mind, he departed into the coasts of Tyre and Sidon. So the location where the Messiah went, he went to the coasts of Tyre and Sidon. Now, the coasts, this is dealing with the Mediterranean coast, the Mediterranean Sea, on the coast by the Mediterranean Sea, which was located Tyre and Sidon. Now, who is Tyre and Sidon, guys? Well, we need to go into Genesis. So let's go into Genesis chapter 10. Genesis chapter 10. And let's discover who is Tyre and Sidon to alleviate a lot of problems. Genesis chapter 10. Now it speaks about, the generations of the sons of Noah. So I'm going down to, let's look at Genesis 10 verse 6. Genesis 10 and 6. It says, and the sons of Ham, so this is dealing with Ham. Ham was a descendant of Noah. Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And we're dealing with Ham. So it says, and the sons of Ham. So let's deal with his lineage. So the sons of Ham was Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Okay, the Cushites are the Ethiopians. The Mizraimites are the Egyptians. Put is the Libyans, North Africa. All right. And then you have Canaan, which was South Africa, the Canaanites, the Phoenicians. All right. Now let's continue on. And then it says in Genesis 10 and 7, and the sons of Cush was Seba, Havilah, Sabbatah, Ramah, Sabteka. And the sons of Ramah was Sheba and Dedan. And then it goes on, and it talks about how Nimrod came, Nimrod being the first monarch. Then it just goes on. I'm just dealing with the lineage of Ham. Now watch this, guys. So it continues to goes on, and let's get down to verse 13. This is still within the lineage of Ham. 10 and 13. And Mizraim begat Ludim and Anamim and Lahabim and Nabtuhim, if I'm pronouncing these correctly. Genesis 10:14, and Patrusim and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistine and Captormi. So it's just dealing with all the lineage of Ham. Now we can see right here the Philistine. This is where the Philistines, the Philistines came out of Mizraim. Mizraim is the Egyptians, northeast Africans. You can see where the Philistines came from. So the Philistines are Mizraimites because they come out of Mizraim. Now, it says in Canaan. Okay, Canaan. So Canaan was a descendant of Ham. All right. Genesis 10 and 15. Now pay close attention to this. Genesis 10 and 15. It says, and Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn. So Sidon was the firstborn of Canaan, as you can see that. Now, when you go into the tools, all right, you go into the interlinear, you go into the tools.
Strong's H, 6721, Sidon. Sidon.
And that's dealing with Sidon or Sidon, Hebrew 6721 in the concordance. And when you click into Sidon, or what you may call Sidon, it means hunting. Now it says also Sidon was an ancient Phoenician city. Phoenician means land of palms. So it was an ancient Phoenician city on the Mediterranean coast of north of Tyre. So you can see Sidon was located on the Mediterranean coast north of Tyre. Now, so we can see that Sidon, the Sidonians, they were Hamites because they were descendants of Ham. And, and they was Canaanites. So, because Canaan came out of the lineage of Ham. And Canaan begat Sidon, which was his firstborn son. So you can see that Sidon was a Canaanite. Better yet, a Hamite, which was an African. All right? That's exactly who Sidon was. So we're dealing with Hamites, a.k.a. Africans. The Sidonians, the firstborn son of Canaan. Canaan was a descendant of Ham. Now, guys, now we have to deal with Tyre. All right? We have to deal with Tyre. Okay, guys, now watch. It says, and then it still deals with the lineage of Ham. And it goes all the way down and just keep dealing with the lineage of Ham. All right? Now, guys, watch this. All right? Watch this. So we are back in Matthew 15:21. We dealt with Sidon, so we know Sidon those are Canaanites, which are descendants of Ham. So those are Hamites, which are Africans. Now, guys, if you don't know how the Africans look, okay, these are what you call Africans, the Canaanites. All right. You see that? These are basically Canaanites, Sidonians, Africans. All right. Let me show you another one. These are Canaanites. I want you to see it. These are Canaanites, Sidonians, Africans, Canaanites, Sidonians, Africans. See? Canaanites, Sidonians, Africans. So you see that? These are Sidonians, the descendants of Canaan, and Canaan was a descendant of Ham, Africans. Keep that in mind. Let's deal with Tyre. So let's go into Tyre now. And it says Tyros or Tyros.
Strong's G, 5184, Turas. Turas.
Turas. So let's go into 5184 in the Greek concordance. Dealing with Tyre, Turas. Tyre, Turas. It means a rock. Now this was also located in Phoenician city. So Phoenician means land of the palms, because that land contained many palm dates. So Phoenician, this Tyre was a city that was located, basically Tyre was a region that was located in a Phoenician city. See, a Phoenician city. So Tyre was a Phoenician city on the Mediterranean coast. You see, Tyre was a Phoenician city on the Mediterranean coast. So if that's the case, if we know Tyre was a Phoenician city on the Mediterranean coast, we already know who the Phoenicians are. The Phoenicians are the descendants of Canaan. The Phoenicians are the descendants of Canaan. So basically what you're dealing with in Matthew 15:21, you're dealing with Tyre and Zidon, you're dealing with Canaanites. Canaanites are the descendants of Canaan. And Canaan was a descendant of Ham. So basically, you're dealing with Canaanites, guys. You're dealing with Canaanites. Wait a minute, let me show you. You're dealing with Canaanites. So, yeah, as you can see right here, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, the three sons of Noah. And when you're dealing with Canaanites, you're dealing with Ham in the green shirt. Canaanites, you know, they are the stock of Ham, the descendants of Hamites. And the Hamites, they are your Africans. All right? So we're dealing with Africans. All right? Matthew 15:24. You know what I'm saying? I meant forgive me. Matthew 15:21, Tyre and Zidon, we're dealing with Africans. So now we know where Yahushua went. So Yahushua, who they call Jesus, the Black Messiah, he went in the coasts of Tyre and Zidon. He basically went where you had the Canaanites that they was dwelling at, the descendants of Ham. Matthew 15:22, and behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. So this Canaanite woman, this African woman, keep in mind, because the Canaanites, they are the descendants of who? The Canaanites are the descendants of Ham in the green. So keep in mind, this was a African woman, all right? A Hamitic African woman that came to the Messiah. She came to the Messiah, and she was crying. Now let me show you. Get a picture of the Messiah right quick. Wait a minute. Just any picture the Messiah would do. Okay, you guys can see that. This is the Yahushua, who they ignorantly call Jesus, a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. So you had this African woman that came up to Yahushua. Now we know that the so-called Negroes, we are not African. The so-called Negroes are Jews. All right. So when you see Shem in the yellow shirt, Shemitic stock, we are Jews. The so-called African Americans, the so-called Negroes over here that they love to call black and colored people, we are actually Jews. So we don't have nothing to do with the house of Ham, because Hamites and Shemites are not the same. Shemites are Jews. Hamites are what you call Africans. Canaanites. All right. Even though they both share similarities in complexion, they're different. Okay. So when this African woman came to Yahushua to heal her daughter, because her daughter was vexed, she came to Yahushua crying, telling Yahushua to heal her daughter. Now keep in mind, Yahushua is not Hamitic for the last time. Keep in mind, Yahushua is Shemitic in the yellow. Yahushua is a descendant of Shem, not a descendant of Ham. And I told you that Yahushua only came to give salvation to the Israelites. So here this heathen woman coming to Yahushua, crying unto him, saying, have mercy on her, and her daughter, because her daughter was grievously vexed with the devil. Matthew 15:23, but he answered her not a word. So Yahushua didn't answer this African, this Canaanite heathen woman. He answered her not. He answered her not a word, Matthew 15:23. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away. So even the disciples, because the disciples of Yahushua, his disciples was Jews. All right, let me show you that, guys. So the disciples told Yahushua, he said, they said, send her away. Get her out of here, man. Get this heathen out of here, man. Show you Yahushua disciples. If I can find it right quick. See? Yahushua disciples said, get this heathen out of here, man. Get this Hamite out of here. Because all these are Shemites you're looking at. Israelites, Jews. So they told Yahushua, tell that woman to get the hell on, man. Matthew 15:23. And this was a Canaanite woman that was begging for her daughter to be healed. You know what I'm saying? Like this Canaanite woman here, begging for her daughter to be healed, begging the Messiah, talking about, can you please heal my daughter? This Canaanite woman begging for her daughter to be healed. The disciples told Yahushua, send her the hell on, man. She's not one of us. She's not from our nation. Because they knew that Yahushua came to give salvation only to the nation of Israel. And I'm going to show you this in the scriptures. Now watch this, Matthew 15:24. And then I get back into the story. Look at this, guys. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, this is what the Messiah said. Yahweh Shai, once again, this is what he said. He said, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So the only people that the Messiah was sent to bring deliverance and salvation to was the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right. No other nation. He was only sent for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now, guys, I got to show you this because, you know, I love to pull my pictures up. So I got to show you this too. Wait a minute. Let me show you this. All right. Now, I always show y'all this. So this is what the Messiah was saying. He said, I'm not sent but into the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 15:24. So guess what? He was only sent to number one. He was not sent to no one in the red box. And I don't discuss this several times. Now, in this case, remember that Syro-Phoenician woman, that Canaanite African woman came up to the Messiah? Guess what? Well, guess where she was from? She was from number 12 on the Table of Nation chart. Number 12 is the South Africans, Canaanites, the Phoenicians. So that's South Africans. So she came up to Yahushua, asking Yahushua to heal her daughter. And that's number 12, which is South Africans, Canaanites, Phoenicians. Yahushua. So is Yahushua is going to, go back on his word? Because the Heavenly Father sent Yahushua to bring deliverance and salvation only to the Israelites. We showing you right here. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I'm not sent but into the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You see that? See that? And then it also says in Matthew, is that Matthew 10 and 15? It also says this. Wait a minute, guys. Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 Yahushua, who they call Jesus, sent forth, talking about his 12 disciples, and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Matthew 10 and 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So the main focus was going only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. See, the Messiah told his disciples to go to only number one. Forget these nations in the red box, because that's not my focus. So Matthew 10 and 6, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 10 and 7, and as ye go preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So the kingdom of heaven that's supposed to be preached is supposed to only be preached to the Israelites. So when you go in Matthew 15:22, and it says, behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast, crying unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. Matthew 15:23. But he answered her not a word. And we can see why he answered her not a word, because it was told, it was already mentioned in the gospel that he said that, guess what? He only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 15:24, right here. So that's why he didn't answer to that Syro-Phoenician woman in Matthew 15:23. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cried to us. Because it was already said in the scriptures, man. He told his disciples. He told his disciples in Matthew 10 and 5. Don't go to the Gentiles or any city of the Samaritans. Go to the lost sheep. So that's why his disciples said, get her out of here, man. That's why his disciples said that, guys. You gotta know these scriptures. That's why his disciples said, get her the hell out of here. Get her the hell out of here. Okay? Matthew 15 and 24. But he answered and said, I'm not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So this Canaanite woman crying, pleading with the Messiah, begging the Messiah to heal her daughter. And he tells this Syro-Phoenician Canaanite woman, he says, look, I'm not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You consistently begging me to heal your daughter. I'm not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But Messiah, can you please, son of David, have mercy on me? Heal my daughter, please. He say, I'm only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I'm not sent to you heathens. And guess where she fallen in the red box? Number 12 with the South Africans, Canaanites, also known as the Phoenicians. So she begging the Messiah to heal her daughter. He told her, my mission is Israel only. Matthew 15:25. Then came she and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. So after he had told this Canaanite woman, after he told this African Canaanite Hamitic Gentile, after he told her that, look, I'm not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, she came and she fell down begging him, man. She came and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me, please. Help me, please. Help me, please. Begging the Messiah, man. You see that? She was begging the Messiah, man. Let me get this back again. Begging the Messiah, man. She begging the Messiah, help me, please. She begging him, man. This is what the Messiah tells this Phoenician woman, this Gentile. Matthew 15:26. But he answered and said, it's not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. So guess what the Messiah called this Syro-Phoenician woman, man? Guess what Yahushua called this Canaanite, Hamitic Gentile woman, man? He called her a dog. It's not meat to take my children's bread and give it to you dogs. And that's the Messiah. That's Yahushua. He called this Syro-Phoenician woman, man, he called her a dog, man. It ain't meat to take my children's bread and give it to you dogs. And that's basically cast not your pearls before swine. That's what he was basically saying. Because the scripture says right here, man. I'm going to show you this. Matthew 7:6. It says, give not that which is holy unto dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine. See? Because the other nations, the heathens in the red box, they're not only known as dogs, but they're also known as pigs, swine, man, especially the so-called white man. So he say, don't give this royal kingdom information to these heathens, man. If you're an Israelite, Black, Hispanic, Native American, if you're an Israelite, don't waste your time giving this sacred knowledge. Don't try to break down the Bible to these heathens. Don't waste your time trying to teach the ones in the red box. Yahushua said that. That's like casting your royal knowledge, which is likened unto pearls. That's like casting them to pigs and dogs. Cast not your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn against and rend you. Turn again and rend you. So this is why he said it's not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to you dogs. Matthew 15:26. Matthew 15:27. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. So the Syro-Phoenician woman told Yahushua, she said, even the dogs eat of the master's crumbs that falls from the table. Then what happened afterwards? Matthew 15:28. Then who they called Jesus, we know as Yahushua, answered and said unto her, O woman, great is your faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. So now, here's where the controversy come in. Oh, I thought Christ was only sent for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I thought he was only sent for the Israelites. See this part right here. See, this what confuses me. I don't understand. Yeah, because you're not reading precept upon precept. All right. So now let me break this down to you for those of you that's kind of getting hung up with this. Now, why did the Messiah heal that heathen's woman's daughter? Why did the Messiah heal that Syro-Phoenician Canaanite woman's daughter? Notice what he did. He didn't heal her. He didn't heal her. He healed her daughter. She didn't receive deliverance. He didn't heal her. He healed her daughter. So if the Messiah was only sent for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, Many individuals say, we know he didn't heal that Syro-Phoenician, Hamitic, African, Canaanite woman. But you cannot say that he did not heal her daughter. So what's up with that? If the Messiah only came for the Israelites, why in the hell is he healing a heathen woman's daughter? Well, guys, he didn't heal the heathen woman. He healed the daughter. Now, I'm going to show you exactly. For those of you that's perplexed, I'm going to show you exactly why he healed the heathen woman's daughter. Because I'm not getting over it. I'm not getting around it. I'm going to deal with it because it says that in the scripture. It says Matthew 15:28. Then Yahweh Shai answered and said unto her, O woman, great is your faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. So I'm not refuting that the Messiah. I'm not refuting that. You know, that he healed a Gentile Canaanite African woman's daughter. But guess why he didn't? Guess why he did it? Because her daughter was what you call confusing of faces. Now I'm going to show you this. So let's go to this in the scriptures. Confusion of faces. Now watch this. This is in the book of Daniel. This is Daniel 9:7. O Lord, righteousness belonging to thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as this day, to the man of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to all Israel. There are near and there are far off, through all the countries, whether thou hast driven down because of their trespasses, they have trespassed against me. So now, basically, guys, guess what? We know that the Israelites consist of 12 tribes. The 12 tribes of Israel is blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans. But now there are confusion of faces. You know why? Because the Israelites, the 12 tribes, you know, they have mingled. The Israelite men of the 12 tribes, the Israelite men of the nation of Israel, guess what these Israelite men have went and done? They have mingled their seed. They have mingled their sperm cell among other nations. So when these Israelite men went off, you know, in their captivity, you know, when they were dispersed, taken out the Holy Land, scattered among the heathen. When the Israelites were scattered among the heathen, they intermingled their seed with other heathen nations. You see, so the nations in the red box, which are the heathen, Israelites, which are number one, when they were scattered in several captivities and lands, when they were dispersed in foreign lands, the Israelite men had what you would call interracial marriages with many of these heathen women in the box. And also Israelite women indulged in interracial marriages with the heathen men in the box. So now you can't, it's hard to pinpoint an Israelite because you have what they call confusion of faces. Like today they would call it mixed, but there ain't no such thing as mixed. Let me show you something. So now you will have this mixed. This is called a confusion of face because you don't know if this girl right here, you don't know if she looks like, she looks kind of Indonesian. I mean, she looks kind of like, she looks Tibetan. You know, you just don't know. So you got to find out who her father is because the nations, you know, the nations are born through the seed of the father. So in this case, this girl right here, she has, her daddy is a so-called Negro, a so-called African-American, a so-called African-American, so-called Negro black man. That's her daddy, but her mother is a so-called white woman. So guess what? So if her daddy is the so-called Negro, then guess what? On the 12 tribe chart, guess what, guys? The so-called Negroes are the Jews. So that means this girl is an Israelite because the seed, you know, the nations They are created through the seed of the father, not the mother. So even though her mother is a so-called white woman, which would be an Edomite, the father gets the credit because he's he's the greater vessel. So the father always gets the credit. Okay. Your children is whoever your father is, because the nations come through the seeds, the sperm cell of the father. You see, the nations come through the sperm cell of the father. So if you got boys and girls, they are what their father is, not the mother. I'm going to show you this in scripture. All right. So you guys won't be perplexed. All right. So let me show you this in scripture. All right. Let's Numbers 1 and 17. Numbers 1 and 17. So we got confusion of faces going on, man. Numbers 1 and 17. This is what it says in Numbers 1 and 17. It says, and Moses was an Israelite from the tribe of Levi, and his brother Aaron, they was Levites, took these men which are expressed by their names. And these are talking about Israelite man. Number 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families. See, they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. Now, what is pedigree, guys? Pedigree is talking about the lineage. Now, you go into pedigree. Pedigree is your lad.
Strong's H3205. Yalad.
Your lad. And that means child. That means child. That's what your lad means, child. So now we can go back and we can deal with Numbers 1, verse 18. They assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their children after their families by the house of their fathers. Now, why did they do it by the house of their fathers? Because the nations come through the sperm cell of the man. You see, the nations come through the sperm cell of the man. The sperm gets the credit. You are who your father is. That's why they declared their pedigree by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So you can see right there. Yes, guys, the nations come through, the sperm cell of the father. You are who your father is. No such thing as being mixed. You are who your father is. So in this case, this little girl right here, whatever her father is, that's who she is. In this case, her father is a so-called black man. And we know that the so-called black people today, the so-called Negroes are the Jews. And we know so, and even though she got a so-called white mother right here, which is Edomite, which is a heathen in the red box, guess what? The mother doesn't get the credit. The father gets the credit. So guess what? She gets a pass because she's an Israelite. So that's the same thing, guys. Please keep in mind. That's the same thing dealing with this Syro-Phoenician woman's daughter. Her daughter was a confusion of face. Basically what you call a mixed breed. Well, since there ain't no such thing as mixed breed, guess what? Her daughter, basically she had a daughter from an Israelite brother. Okay? So let me bring up this chart. You see this? I want you guys to see it real good. Wait a minute. See that? I hope you guys can see it. Hope you guys can see it. So on the top, you have heathens, which are Hamites. Hamites, which are Africans. Okay. So on the top, this is what you have. I wish I can let me blow it up a little bit. Let me see if you guys can see. Wait a minute. I hope you guys can see this. Wait a minute. I hope you guys can see. So on the top, you have heathen, Hamite, African, women and men. Now, who are the Africans? Who are these Hamites? Hamites, let's go into the table of nations once more. Hamites from 9 to 12. Where it says Ham, you see where it says Ham? Hamites are Ethiopians, Egyptians, North Africans, and South Africans, basically from 9 to 12. So all these are Hamites, descendants of Ham. Regardless if you're Ethiopian, Egyptian, regardless if you're Sudanese, Somalian, or regardless if you're a South African or Canaanite. From 9 to 12, all of these are Hamites. So basically what you're looking at on the top, you're looking at Hamitic women and men on the top. But I drew the yellow line because I wanted to separated it. I drew the yellow line in between because on the bottom is what you call Shemites, Israelites, so-called Negroes, which are Jews, which is the southern kingdom. Now, we know that the northern kingdom are Israelites too. The northern kingdom is the Hispanics, but I don't have the Hispanics on the bottom. Okay, because we know that the whole house of Israel makes up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay, I just want you to see this. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans makes up the whole house of Israel. But however, concerning here, I don't have the northern kingdom of Israel, which is the Hispanics and Latin tribes. I just have the southern kingdom tribes. I just have Judah, which are the southern kingdom. So now we know that the so-called Negroes or black people in America today, they are from Shemitic. They are from the house of Shem. They are from the house of Shem in the yellow. All the Israelites are from the house of Shem. All you so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos and Hispanics, you from the house of Shem. But the Africans, they are not, which is in the green. The Africans, they are not. So the Africans, I made a distinction. I put the Africans on the top, and then which are the Hamites, and then I put the Shemites on the bottom, which are the Israelites. See that? And we look totally different. We don't have the same spirit. We don't have the same customs. We are totally different. And I'm going to show you this in the scriptures. So, guys, we are totally different. Watch this. Watch this, guys. This is Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel, which are the blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, shall not a dog move his tongue. This talking about the other nations too, because the other nations don't have no damn business putting their mouth on God's appointed people. So against the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that you may know that what? The Lord does put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. And this is Exodus 11:7. So the Most High put a complete difference between the Egyptians and Israel. And this is what you're looking at. He put a difference between us, man. So now let's get back to the story about this Syro-Phoenician woman on the behalf of Christ healing her daughter. Right? Now, like I said, let me break it down. So this what happened. The Syro-Phoenician woman, let me break it down now. The Syro-Phoenician woman, where's she at? Okay, let me find her first. The Syro-Phoenician woman, right? She had a daughter by an Israelite man, a Jew. So basically what she did, a Jew popped this, Canaanite woman right here. You know what I'm saying? She got with an Israelite brother, and he put that thing to her, and what he did, he ejaculated inside her, he got her pregnant. So you had a Hamite that went and had sex with a Shemite and ended up getting a child. All right? We already showed you how the children nationality is determined by the seed of their fathers. So since this Syro-Phoenician woman right here, begot a child from an Israelite man, then her child was an Israelite. You see what I'm saying? And that's why the Messiah healed her daughter, dealing with Matthew 15:28. That's why he said your daughter's made whole, because her daughter was an Israelite, because her daughter father was a Jew, but her mother was a Hamite. You see what I'm saying? That Syro-Phoenician woman daughter, she was a Jew, which she was a Shemite, because her daddy was a Jew and a Shemite. But her mother was a Hamite, which was an African. See? So that's why he didn't heal her, because she was a heathen. And he didn't come for the heathens. He healed her daughter because her daughter was an Israelite, even though she had a heathen mother. All right? And that's what I'm breaking down, trying to explain here. Because, okay, watch this. You see right here where it says Sham, this Shemitic brother laid down with this African woman. You see where it says Ham. up in the upper right corner, you see these couples laying in the bed. So you see where it says Ham. This is the Hamitic woman. The Hamitic woman slept with the Shemitic man. And guess what happened? They had a child right here. The Israelite damsel, which is a young woman. And see, even though that child looks Hamitic or Canaanite, even though she looks that way, she's an Israelite because the children is determined by the seed of their father. So this is a confusion of face. So when Yahushua healed, when the Messiah Yahushua healed that Phoenician daughter, pretty much this is the deal. You know, like I said, right here in the upper right corner, Hamitic woman slept with his Shemitic brother, had a child together, a child. You know, the nationality was based on the seed of her father. She was an Israelite, so she got a pass. That's why the Messiah healed her. You see what I'm saying? So, guys, yeah, I hope you are over in and understand that, because, like I said, man, you got to be an Israelite in order to receive deliverance and salvation. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's the only way, man, because if an Israelite brother, let me show you some more pictures. This is an Israelite brother. This is an Israelite brother from the tribe of Judah. It don't matter. It don't matter what heathen nation he lay down with. Like this brother right here, it doesn't matter which woman he lies down with in the red box, even though they're heathens. They still gonna be Israelites. So this brother right here can lie down with a white woman. He can lie down with an East Indian woman. He can lie down with an Assyrian woman. He can lie down with an Arab woman, Chinese, Japanese, an African woman. No matter what heathen woman he lies down with, the child's still going to be an Israelite, because the children nationality is determined by what? The seed of their father. So it don't matter. It don't matter, man, what heathen nation this brother lay down with in regards to a woman. But even though the children get a pass, he don't supposed to do that according to the scriptures. Because right here, see, I'm gonna show you why they get a pass. What it is. Let's go to Ezra 10:1. Ezra in the Bible, Ezra 10:1. Now when Ezra had prayed, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the house of God, there assembled unto him out of Israel a great very congregation of men and women and children, for the people wept very sore. Now listen to Ezra 10:2 in the Bible. And Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, this is what he told Ezra: we have trespassed against our God, and we have taken strange wives of the people of the land. See? So these Jews, they trespassed because what did they do? What did these Jews do? Like this brother right here. This is a Jew, so-called Negro. This is a Jew. They said they trespassed because they say they took upon strange wives. Now, what is strange wives? Strange wives is white woman. Okay? I'm going to show you taking upon strange wives. Let me show you an illustration. If I have it. I don't know if I have one. I'm looking, guys. If you can find them before I can. See, this is an illustration taken upon strange wives. You taking upon a white woman. You taking upon anyone that's in the red box. An Israelite brother takes upon any woman in the red box. Well, guess what? That's taken upon strange wives. That's what it's saying. So they said we have trespassed, because that's sin. Because God is against interracial marriage. So we trespass. The Jews said because they took strange wives of the people of the land. Yet now there is hope. Even though we took strange wives, there is hope in Israel and concerning this thing. So why is it hope in Israel, even though the Jews took strange wives? Why is it still hope in Israel concerning this thing? Because like I said, guys, just like I said, it don't matter what heathen woman you go and get with in the box. It's still hope, because the child nationality is determined by the father. So an Israelite man can impregnate any heathen woman in this red box, and the child's still going to be an Israelite. That's the hope, because the children nationality is determined by the sperm cell of the father. So that's why it's hope. That's why Ezra 10 and 2, Ezra 10 and 2 in the Bible, it says, even though they took upon strange wives, it says there's hope in Israel concerning this thing. Because, like I said, the children is, children nationality is depending on the sperm cell of the man, not the woman. Like here's another one. This is Romans 9 and 7. You see, guys? Romans 9 and 7. It says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. See? Because Isaac, he married this woman by the name of Rebekah. Rebekah didn't get no credit. It says, in Isaac shall thy seed be called. See? Because the nationality comes through the father, not the mother. Another one is, what is this? Is Corinthians. I believe it's in Corinthians. It says, where is it at? It's Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 8. Corinthians 11 verse 8. If I did it right. Corinthians. Oh man, I don't know what's going on. Wait a minute, guys. Corinthians 11 verse 8. And I don't want to pull it up. I don't know. But in Corinthians 11 verse 8, it says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman is of the man. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman is of the man. Then it says, neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. All right. You got one in Job 8 and 8. Job 8 and 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. See? For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare yourself to the search of their fathers. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about who your father is, not the mother. So that's why it's hope. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's hope, man. So, yeah, I hope I cleared it up by now concerning that Syro-Phoenician's daughter being healed. Her daughter was an Israelite because what happened was, like I said, you can see in the upper right corner, this Hamite, had a child from his Israelite brother, and that child was an Israelite because, the nation is determined by the sperm cell of the father. And so that's why the Messiah healed her daughter. He didn't heal her. You got to be an Israelite to get the salvation and the deliverance. So, I mean, pretty much, that's pretty much it, guys. So now you shouldn't be confused. Now you shouldn't be like this. All right, guys. So, yeah, if it's any more I can go over, I will go over it for you. But I think I covered everything. Guys. So, yeah, I'm just checking to see if I left something out. And another thing before I close out. Now, let's just say an Israelite woman, okay? Because I told you on the bottom, I want you to take a look on the bottom. Take a look on the bottom, guys. You see that on the bottom? These are Israelite women. These are Jews, Israelite women, who they love to call so-called African-American women. Now, let's just say an African-American woman let's say if you're an Israelite woman and you went to go marry a heathen man in the red box, like a white man, East Indian man, Arab man, Chinese, Japanese man, African man. Now, if you're an Israelite woman and you go and marry a man in the red box, guess what? Man, guess what? Oh my goodness, guys, you screwed up for sure. Because if you do this, an Israelite woman go and marry a heathen man, guess what? Your children nationality is going to be. It's going to come through the father. So now your children are Edomites. You see? Now your children are Edomites. See? Now your children, let me show you, you know what I'm saying? Now your children are Edomites. I thought I had mixed breed up here. I don't have any. Yeah, right here. See, so if like this picture ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work right here because this an Israelite brother that had children from a white woman. So an Israelite brother can go and the Israelite brother can have children from a heathen woman. Because the children is still Israelites because they go back to the seed of the father, not the mother. But an Israelite woman, if she was to do this, then she gonna cancel her kids out from the kingdom. Her children gonna go in slavery. Because that's what's coming to you heathens. That's what's coming to you heathens in the red box. Slavery. So if an Israelite woman, I don't give a damn if it's a black, Hispanic, Latino, Native American woman. If you are from the 12 tribes of Israel and you a woman and you go off and you marry a white man, you have children from a white man, you Israelite woman, let's say you have children from, you go off, you Israelite woman, and you go off and you have children from a African man, you still screwed because all these heathens going in slavery. So if you don't want your children to go in slavery, if you don't want your children to go in slavery, you Israelite woman, you better stay away from the heathen man. Israelite woman, once again, black, Hispanic, Latino, Native American woman, who are the Israelites. Please stay away from the ones in the red box. Stay away from these heathen men. Don't have children by these heathen men. Because if you do that, guess what? First and foremost, your child probably going to come out looking like this because they're going to have a white daddy, but a black mama. And then their nationality is going to depend on their father, which is going to be a heathen. And then guess what? When the Messiah returns, your children now got to be slaves. Now they going into slavery. So you got to be careful what you're doing. All right? So please, if you are an Israelite woman, find you an Israelite brother. Find you an Israelite brother and replenish the earth. Find you an Israelite brother and be fruitful. If you're an Israelite man, find you an Israelite woman and replenish the earth and be fruitful. But don't crossbreed with the heathens. But either way, even if an Israelite man decided to go and pop a heathen woman and have children, they still be Israelites on his behalf. But it just won't work for the woman. Now, before I close it out, I'm going to show you something in terms of the heathen going into slavery. Because I told you, like I said, if you Israelite woman, you go and do that, your children going into slavery because they're going to be counted as heathens. No, for real. So let me show you that, then I'll close out. All right? Now watch this. I always pull Isaiah 14. Let me put another one. Let's see. Let me see which one I'm gonna pull. Psalms 149. Let me get that one because I don't really pull that one. Psalms 149 verse. I will begin with 7. Psalms 149 verse 7. See, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. Now, who are the heathens? The ones in the red box. Concerning the table of nations, you saw already. So to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. Psalms 149 verse 8. To bind their kings with chains and nobles with fetters of iron. They're slavery, man. Psalms 149, to execute upon the judgment written, dishonor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. So, like I said, don't crossbreed, especially if you're an Israelite woman, because guess what? Your children are going to be bound with chains and nobles of fetters of iron. They're going to be slaves in the kingdom. All right? So without that, guys, without anything left, yeah, this has been another awesome lesson. Solid Foundation Israelite Academy 2019. Brothers and sisters, I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.